Welcome into the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Joe Yock, Matt Warner, Emily Austin, not here today, not gallivanting around Europe as she was earlier.
Not on one of
she
her.
is definitely not gallivanting. Maybe she'll tell us more about that next week. We shall see.
Update on Emily coming next week.
Next week, yeah, stay tuned
Straight from Emily.
Straight from Emily. We'll see how that goes. All right, Joe, we got a lot to get to. Number one, Richie McKay going to join the show here a little bit. We chatted with him earlier today. Good to get Coach McKay in studio, but we start with football. How good is it you get a bye week, you don't even play, and yet you wake up and you're in the top 25?
Top 25.
Liberty
man.
ranked 23rd
Finally.
in both the AP and coaches polls. First time they've been ranked, obviously, since 2020. Number one, what does it do? Like, you see that. What's your first reaction when you see Liberty ranked?
Now I don't have to listen to wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yes. Do they deserve to be there now? It's sort of things have fallen in place, yes, with the wins and the record, everything else. And so, yeah, it's great. So, but once again, I'm with Coach Freeze on this thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean a hill of beans.
Right.
Until we get to the end of the season, like you go this, you have to find a way to win this game.
Yeah.
You win this game, then you legitimize
You're really
a top 25 ranking and
Right.
where you're supposed to be. So it's, yeah, sure, it's fun. You're there, you throw it on Twitter, throw it on Instagram,
Yep.
get the Flames, do their little video stuff. They do a really good job with the video stuff and do it up right, right? But it all matters. Come down Saturday, baby. This Saturday.
I just thought back when I saw that, and people, around town or whatever, are always like, what do you think of the Flames? What do you think? And for the most part this season, it's been like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They're finding a way. It's like we've said so many times when we do our little post-game recaps, they found a way.
Yeah.
The BYU game, they didn't just find a way. They finally put it all together.
Yeah.
But, I just thought when I saw the ranking, I thought back to, fourth quarter, week 1, Southern Miss, Liberty down 24-17. And I remember texting you or some other folks at that point and being like, boy, maybe we overestimated what this team could be. Or maybe the quarterback situation behind Charlie Brewer was not nearly as good as we thought.
Yeah.
At that point, you're down a touchdown with under 2 minutes to play. And it's like, are they really going to lose to Southern Miss to open up the season? And you go from that feeling of, man, could they get to bowl eligibility if they lose that game, to sitting here now.
Talking top 25.
And it's just an unbelievable.
Talking top 25.
And with 4 quarterbacks.
With 4 quarterbacks. Like you said, what did you say? A little duct tape, a little glue,
little bail and wire,
whatever you got, but you put it all together.
It's been pretty unbelievable.
Here's my take on it. I'm just going to go ahead and give it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and throw it out there.
Throw it out there.
All right. So right now, from a local level, right? The people at Liberty realize how good. The fans of Liberty realize how good Liberty is. Okay, and they see the defense. They see the
Day-Day
Hunter. They see all the good things that are going on, right? But right now, locally, they realize that they're good. On a national level, guess what? I hate to break the news. They're a novelty act. They're a novelty act right now. And so if you're Hugh Freeze and you're sitting in that locker room, right, and you want to get national respect, because right now guys, you know what we are? We're a novelty act to everybody nationally. They don't really know who we are. We go inside an SEC stadium, play Arkansas, okay? We go inside that stadium. We play with great energy, great enthusiasm, and great passion, okay? Then number one, first and foremost, then you execute.
Yeah.
You execute the game plan that they've been given, and then guess what? You're no longer a novelty act. You're the real deal when you come out and you win this game. So guess they can call the pigs in.
They're going to be calling
Call the
them.
pigs in because the Flames are locked and loaded, and it's time to go hunting, baby.
Okay, I like that.
That's what I'm giving them.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting
Glad
to
to
see.
get it off my
I
chest.
know. I could tell you really had something you wanted to share with us. It's going to be interesting to see going into this week, and Hugh Freeze saying, we think Charlie Brewer's come a long way since the BYU game with his hand, and so he was saying in his press conference, I think we'll see both JB and Charlie in this game, which we kind of expected. For JB, it's going to be interesting to see, was BYU, did something click? Did it all come together in that? And this is what we can see going forward. Like, he's turned a new leaf. He's like, okay, I understand it. It's all coming together for me. Yeah. Or are we going to look back and say, boy, remember that one game where it was just all there? Like, that's what I'm interested to see. Can he take and build off of that game against BYU instead of just make it the high point in the season and kind of go back to what he had been, which was inconsistent, in Hugh Freeze's words, before that.
Yeah, but he did show the glimpses of being really good.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's inconsistent. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb right now. I'm going to say yes. I think that was JB's moment to get over the hump.
You think now he's there?
I think now the way once again, it goes back to like we're up in that broadcast booth and you're so high above it.
Yeah.
And then when you watch that, I was able to watch the game right there at field level. And when you saw him move around in the pocket and you saw his calmness, his patience, he didn't panic at all. Like that's a process that takes time. And to do that against a quality opponent like BYU, I really feel as if throughout this an off week, more practice time, more confidence. Hopefully they're getting a little healthier, especially at the receiver position. You know, I really feel like JB is ready to become a much more consistent football player at a high level.
Freeze saying there's still a little uncertainty on those receivers on who they could get back. He did say Trayshawn Clark will be back.
Oh, that's
so
great
he's
news.
practicing, so that's great to get him back on that defensive line. And let's talk about these Hogs just a little bit because this is a tough bunch.
Yeah.
5-3, back-to-back road wins at BYU, at Auburn. They won at Auburn Saturday, 42-27. This team can run the rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They run it 64% of the time. They're 6th in the nation in rushing per game, 245 yards a game. They run the ball. Just for comparison, Liberty is 36th in the nation in stopping the run. So you got a good battle there. But it really all starts with KJ Jefferson, their quarterback, dual threat guy, big, 6'3", 242. And Josh Aldridge said he reminds me of a more athletic Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
He is just a load. And he throws it for 240 a game. He runs it for 55 a game. 15 TD passes, 1 interception. He doesn't turn it over much. And if you're looking for a comparison, when they went against BYU, a defense that Liberty had a lot of success against, he threw for 367 and 5 touchdowns. He's a problem.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that they're going to have to find a way to pressure. And once you get there, once you get him,
gotta actually get him on
you
the
got to
ground.
get him down,
Yeah.
which that's a whole other job. So you need or hold him up till your buddies can come and help finish the job. He's a problem.
Yeah, and you know, and I think I sent this to you a couple weeks ago from Pro Football Focus. Is they had rated quarterbacks highest quarterback rating from the pocket.
Yeah,
and KJ Jefferson was number 1 in the nation. So yeah, he is a major problem. But I mean, the good news is Liberty's defense is legit.
Yeah.
And now you're going to find out, you know, how good they really are. I think across the board, from the front four to the linebackers to the secondary, how well they mesh together and play together. It's a great challenge for Liberty defense. But 2 weeks of preparation, expect Josh Aldridge, Jack Curtis to come in with a really good game plan on how they can hopefully potentially stop. But you're right, 41 on Auburn this past weekend. What was it, 50-some on BYU?
Yeah, they're rolling.
So they're rolling. The offense is going to have to keep up their end of the bargain to have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, Arkansas, they also have the leading rusher in the SEC, Rocket Sanders. So we get 2 Rockets.
Yeah, it's Rocket Rahimi versus Rocket
like
Sanders.
Sputnik and whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Russians versus the Americans.
Right, exactly.
It's a Cold War.
Right, Cold War all over again, essentially. And he's rushed for more than $170 in each of the last 2 games. So he is incredible. Here's the thing, and you talk about Liberty offense trying to keep up. Arkansas's defense has not been good this year. They have been a huge disappointment. They allow almost 32 points a game, 111th in the nation in points allowed. They give up 460 yards a game. This defense has really struggled, and we saw BYU, a team that wasn't able to move it against the Flames really after the first quarter.
This put 35.
Yeah, and they, I think, what was it, Jaron Hall threw for like 360 in that game against them. So they had a lot of success. But it's kind of that same feeling we had going into the BYU game, right?
Yeah.
All right, strength on strength.
Yeah.
And kind of the inconsistency on inconsistency. And so Jonathan Bennett, as we said, really stepped up and helped the Flames, get that win over BYU. He's going to have to do it again, or Charlie Brewer or whoever.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find
Do we
him.
have an update on Caden Salters? Did he say anything about him?
Free said he was running around a little today, but it's I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't expect to see him. But one thing I will tell you is Arkansas has one of the best tacklers in the SEC, who also has one of the best names in all college football.
Who is it?
Bumper Pool. Bumper Pool. He's Arkansas's all-time leading tackler. He's second in the SEC in tackles this season. But Bumper Pool, that's good.
I mean, that's good.
That's really good.
I mean, that's good. That's like, if Liberty had a guy named Fats Domino, that would be really nice.
Oh boy. May he rest in peace. He was great.
But here, with Liberty and offensive football, everything is going to go through Day Day Hunter.
Yeah.
I really think that as hard as he ran the ball, when you rush the ball the way they ran the ball against BYU, gives the offensive line a great deal of confidence. John, obviously, JB played really well, but ultimately, the strength, for a little guy, he's a little fella.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big, but his
He's
legs,
strong, man.
he is strong. He's strong. The power of his running game, breakaway, getting to second, getting to third level, is going to be the difference in that ball game. How's Liberty able to run the football?
Well, I think that just the battle in the trenches, right? Like Arkansas is second in the SEC in sacks with 24, despite how bad their defense has been.
Yeah, they get
so if you can give quarterback a little time,
that's right.
Quarterbacks have been able to have success, and we saw that against BYU. The offensive line, there was a clean pocket. JB had plenty of time back there.
He had a great pocket.
And then on the flip side, the Arkansas offensive line, Hugh Freeze saying it's the biggest and maybe the best they've seen since they've been here.
Really?
And so if that defensive line can find a way to create some pressure on Jefferson, make him move around a little bit when he doesn't want to, that's going to be critical on the other side.
And here's the thing. Sam Pittman, who's the head coach of Arkansas, was at Carolina.
Yeah.
And they recruited a kid that I had coached, Bobby Massey, now plays. I think he plays for Denver, maybe. But played for the Bears for years and offensive lineman. So Carolina recruits. So I got to know Coach Pittman pretty well through that process. And he's a heck of a coach. Great guy, heck of a coach, funny as all get out. And he is serious about that offensive line. I mean, they get after it. And obviously, they a lot of times the attitude of a team is the extension of the coach, and they do a good job up front.
Also interested to see for Liberty, are we seeing maybe the tight ends get a little bit more involved in like a playmaking? We saw the touchdown pass to Henderson.
Yeah.
We've seen Jerome Jackson a little bit involved. We talked so much about the receivers. Could we be seeing some of those guys grow into a role where maybe they're a factor?
Yeah, Henderson. I mean, that when you
They have
look
the
at
size.
him,
Like,
I mean,
he's
he's
a
a
good-looking kid.
big,
Transfer from Minnesota.
good-looking kid. And so, you know, that obviously you see what happens throughout the course of a season, especially you get some guys banged up. Is other guys get more reps and they get more playing time. So there's some good players that you don't even know about. So you look at a guy like Henderson, who made a couple catches, big touchdown catch in that game. Like that's a guy, like you said, they may be seeing them those tight ends become much more involved in the offense.
Hugh Freeze said, he spent his off week where he played a little golf. He won some golf tournament. So what'd you do? Anything what'd you?
Well, play a little bit of pickleball.
Good.
Yeah. And I think you might have played a little.
I may have played a little.
You made a little pickleball. But we lost in the OIC.
That's fine.
We lost in the
I
OIC.
didn't.
You did. You did. Yeah, you're on the winning side.
Yeah.
And I got to go down to Chapel Hill to see my Tar Heels play on Saturday against Pitt.
And that's another 7-1 team.
That's another 7-1 team.
You're living right
I'm living right this year. I mean, we're rolling along. What am I now? 14-2.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So we're in good shape. So no, it was a good weekend. Lots of fun.
Yeah, glad you could. It's a grind during the year.
It's
glad
you know
could
what?
take a week.
You get banged up,
right?
You get banged up.
Nobody's healthy this time of year,
right? Your shoulder gets a little. I told him I got a little bit of pickle wrist.
Do you?
Right? Yeah, that gets a little sore there from all. But it's good to get a week off and regroup.
Now I know you don't ever take time off from helping folks when it comes to getting a home loan.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something right now. You're a really, really great broadcaster, right? But your transition into the promos is elite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's elite.
Listen, we all love Emily, but her transitions, that's not a strength.
It's not her strength.
It's always she turns it into some sort of insult.
Yeah, she insults me.
Right. She'll be like,
she says that it's hard to get a hold of me.
Arkansas defense has really struggled. You know who else struggles? Joe Yock. But you should call him if you need a home. Like it's like that's not helping.
No.
That's not instilling confidence.
We're trying to get the people to say, Joe's an easy guy to get a hold of.
Right.
If I got a mortgage question, I'm there for you.
Nobody's better.
Nobody's better, right? It's like, you may not be able to get a hold of them, but if you happen to need a mortgage.
Yeah.
No, just listen. We go on the Google machine.
Yeah.
The Google machine's easy. It works. They're opening up the Google machine for more, right?
Yeah.
And just Google. Just now that Elon Musk has got some control of Twitter,
wide open.
it's gonna. I think everything.
You're not shadow banned anymore.
I'm not gonna be a shadow ban anymore.
Yeah.
Joe Yock, Jauch. Google.
Search
looking to purchase, refinance. I'm here for you.
Just if you have questions, give him a call. He'd love to talk to you.
Anytime.
All right. When we come back here after this interview, we're going to talk to Coach Ritchie McKay in just
Richie
a moment.
doing?
Richie's doing great.
Great.
They are going to be really
Are they going to be good?
They are going to be really good this season.
I'm excited about watching the Flames play basketball.
They are. We'll come back in just a moment, give you some bold predictions for this week against Arkansas. But right now, let's take my conversation earlier today with head basketball coach Ritchie McKay. All right, please be joined by Coach McKay. Coach, appreciate you coming in. I know you're a busy man this time of year.
It's always a pleasure.
I appreciate that.
Always a pleasure.
Well, we wanted to catch you right now because we figure with the way the Seahawks are playing, you're still riding high. You're feeling good.
Geno Smith has been
Has there been a better
unbelievable.
story?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if it's gotten enough attention because to come in and a little bit of a journeyman,
Sure.
but man, he's arguably the best quarterback or playing as well as any quarterback in the league right now. Not named Patrick Mahomes, of course.
Well, you could say that. Yeah, between your Mariners and Seahawks, you've had a good little run here.
Good year, and the Kraken aren't bad. And the Sonics are coming back soon.
Are they? Okay, I didn't know if the Kraken were still playing, or I hadn't heard much about them lately.
Who's Kansas City's hockey team?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
yeah. Right. Well, all right. Hey, let's talk before we get into your season upcoming. I found it interesting. I feel like, and you tell me, obviously this time of year we've been talking a lot of football on the podcast, right? That's kind of been dominating the conversation.
As we should.
Yeah, but and you've been other places, so I want your perspective. Does it feel different here in the way that other programs support each other? I mean, I look at it like football games, you're seeing all these different staffs there. I see, baseball, a lot of people don't know. Yeah. Coach McKay will just pop in, just unannounced into the booth, slip in, watch, half a baseball game, slip out. I see you at other events. Do you feel like that's the case, that the coaching staffs and programs are more supportive of each other here maybe than some other places?
Yeah, pretty astute observation, man. I do think it's different, but I think it's commiserate with the rest of our campus. I just think there's a spirit of unity that exists here that's different than other places. And arguably it's because of the mission, but I also think it's the people. Yeah. And I think, man, it's really competitive amongst our athletic department teams. Yeah. Like you almost, if you feel like you don't make it to the NCAA tournament or don't win 20 games or what have you, you almost feel like, man, we're not measuring up.
You're letting everybody down.
Yeah, but I do think it's neat. Obviously, football is a bus driver.
Sure.
And I do think it's neat that we all get to capitalize on their success, as well as the different programs around the country. Nikki taking the field hockey team to the national championship game, and the other programs that qualified for the NCAA tournament. I do think it's unique.
Yeah, well, obviously people have enjoyed riding on your coattails as well for a lot of these years. All right, let's talk about this season. First off, you're heading into a new year. How excited are you just from the fact that you won't have to answer any more of the at the end of last season questions, right? Are you just looking forward to turning the page and not having to go back and kind of address the end of last year and what that was? Because I know that's been just something you've probably heard a million times during the offseason.
Not quite a million, but I think there's two reasons why, Matt. We had been or qualified for the NCAA tournament 3 consecutive years and have Darius McGee coming back, and kind of there's an expectation that it's just going to happen again. But you and I both know it's really hard to win a championship, and let alone 4 in a row. There's not many programs across America that have done that. So I think the disappointment that we didn't go back was one of the reasons. But secondly, the expectations have grown. They're expansive, and I get it, and I think our guys feel a little bit. I just think we need to continue to play with a freedom and a joy that exists. And I do think a new season is a turning of the page. But we have fabulous dudes in this program. I really mean that. I know it's coach speak and at a lot of places, but man, I love being around them. And I think they're unbelievable representatives of Liberty University and our campus constituency. They really, really, I think, enlighten the brand of Liberty. And I'm just privileged to be a part of it.
As well as anybody, no team is the same from one year to another. You can bring back whatever percentage of scoring, whatever, and there's going to be some differences. As you look at this year's team going into the season compared to what they were a year ago, how do you hope they're different? Are there areas where you say, I think we should be different or better here? Are there areas where you say, boy, I hope we can be what we were a year ago in these areas?
Yeah, that's fair. We will miss Keegan McDowell and his leadership. Keegan was just one of those guys. He had been through it. He had seen the other side of hard and had a commitment and a maturity that is not natural or is fairly uncommon when we're talking about 18 to 22-year-olds. So we missed that. And he had a shooting prowess that was terrific. However, we have Kyle Rode, who's one of the best leaders I've ever been a part of in any team or any organization. Wow. I'm not just talking about a college basketball team. He's special. And so I think I've seen leadership growth in Shiloh Robinson, Blake Preston, even quiet as he is on the court, Darius McGee.
Yeah.
And I think that's just helped kind of continue to grow and elevate the culture that has existed in our program for years. But you're right, chemistry is elusive. And I do think there's guys that are stepping into roles that I'm excited about. But on the other side of that, there's going to be some adversity that we will experience. And I think that's when we'll see the evidence of, how good we are, how well we handle it, and what kind of growth can take place once we're in that tunnel of chaos.
I think if there's one piece of criticism I heard a year ago more than any other, and which means I'm sure you heard it as well, was from folks just, running to fans and stuff like that. It was always, man, are we asking too much of Darius?
Yeah.
Have we put too much on him? And then he goes out and drops 48 or whatever, and it's like, well, I mean, it looks like he can handle it.
Yeah.
Did you feel like down the stretch, was that something that you're like, man, I don't know if we can ask him to do that much again this season? And do you feel like you have a team in place that won't have to?
Yeah, fair question. Probably a fair critique as well. If we would have won the game against Bellarmine and played in the
Right.
ASUN championship in advance, would that?
No one would even.
Yeah, so I do think sometimes the desired outcome when it's not reached, I do think you subject yourselves to opinions,
Yeah.
and that's part of it. That being said, he logged a lot of minutes. He was the number one usage rate
I bet.
per Ken Palm in the country. So,
Yeah.
but rightfully so. That was our best chance to
Yeah.
win, Matt. And quickly, we had to change tracks quickly when Drake departed, and we didn't really have a point guard, so to speak, that had any experience whatsoever other than Darius, and that's not his natural position. But
Yeah.
B, that could do the things on the court that Darius McGee can do, because they're rare, and we appreciate it and tried to magnify it best we could.
Darius, where are areas you want to see him grow? And would it be fair to say he could have a better season this year without putting up the numbers that we saw him put up a season ago? A better season in your mind?
No doubt. Like he's got to become a better defender. He knows that to play at the highest level. He's a tremendous rebounder, I would say, for his size, but I mean for his position. I think his assist turnover ratio has to improve in order for him to play in the league. And he's aware of all these things. But the area of growth that I want Darius to exemplify the most is in his leadership. He is so well respected amongst his teammates that I think, and he does it tremendously well one-on-one. But I think if he ever said, hey, that's enough, like we're getting a stop, like I might stop the game, call a timeout, and write it on the court. And but if I've seen semblances of that growth and intentionality. Yet I'm pretty demanding, so I want a little bit more.
All right, I know you don't like to put too much onto a freshman coming into the program, but there has been a lot of buzz around your program about Colin Porter, the freshman point guard. Talk to us just a little bit about what his game looks like, and could you see him being someone that, listen, Darius is the guy, but could take a little bit of that pressure off and be that other ball handler you mentioned we didn't have a year ago. Could he be a guy that helps fill that role?
Yeah, first of all, I love our freshmen. I think it's a terrific class. And Colin doesn't play like a freshman. He was tremendously well coached. Jason Mays at Ashland Blazer High School did a terrific job. He's got a great program. And I'd say that about all three of our freshmen that are on scholarship. They've come from really good programs. But yeah, Colin's a natural point guard. And can he relieve some pressure off of Darius? Absolutely. But I also think Kyle Rode can. Mm-hmm. Zach Cleveland is actually a pretty good creator. And then Brody, Joseph, Isaiah, Gabriel, those guys that have been in the program, I think they should supplement Darius not having to have the ball in his hands all the time. However, it's a pretty good thing when he does.
Yeah. Right.
And but to go back to Colin, man, he's rare.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many freshmen from coming into school in the summer to day before we tip off be as prepared as he is.
Well, that's exciting. I can't wait to see him play. All right, so you guys in the offseason, coach, the league, first off, the league looks very different.
Yeah,
Just going
no doubt.
through the, all right, who are the preseason all-conference players? And I'm like, really, I think I recognize that name. Like,
Yeah.
it's just completely
No
different.
doubt.
As you view it, I guess, how do you approach it in an off-season? Are you doing kind of a scout during the off-season, just kind of a preliminary, like, all right, let's go through the ASUN rosters and kind of just get a gauge of who's come back, who left, what it might look like? How do you
Yeah.
approach that in the vast change across the league over the last year?
Yeah, I don't do much in the off season with other programs in the league. There's a familiarity that I think we've tried to find out with the Austin Peas
Yeah, right.
uh, and Queens, who we have a little bit of knowledge about just because we scrimmaged them a couple of years in a row. But I'm trying to figure out how we can improve Liberty. And but I do think, Matt, 14 teams is the most teams that Liberty has ever played in a men's basketball conference with, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
teams. And then there's an imbalanced schedule just
Mm.
because we can't play everyone home and home. So I I just think it'll look different than it has in the past. But that's why we try and schedule as hard as we can in the non-conference. And I'm being completely sincere when I say this. To get the schedule, the non-conference schedule that we did, was near miraculous. There are no suitors that wanted to sign up to play, and I get it. We had a bunch of our scoring and rebounding points and percentage coming back, and we have Darius McGee. So I hope the non-conference slate will challenge us and prepare us well for what I think will be a really hard ASUN conference schedule.
Now, we talk about how much you guys have coming back on the court. Off the court, you guys made some changes. Like, continuity is so rare
Yeah,
in college athletics, period. You had it
Yeah.
on your coaching staff. Now, you had guys that had been with you for a while. You have some new faces coming in now. You Rob Jones, Coach Hornet coming in, strength and conditioning. Like, you've been so good about building a culture and maintaining a culture.
Yeah.
How do you do that when it's not just bringing new players now, but you're bringing in new staff members who are supposed to be helping set that culture?
I don't know if the listeners or viewers out there saw the segue there, but that was tremendous.
Get out of here. Get out of here. You
You're
don't have to do that.
yeah, no, you make a great point. Brad Susi, who we coached together for 27
Yeah.
years, dear friend, and just did a great job in helping us build our programs throughout our tenure together. And Brad's moved on to a different venture in his journey, and man, I'm prayerful that God blesses him with all that he deserves. He's just a terrific person. And then to lose Henry Barrera, I almost would tell you that guy's irreplaceable just because of the relationship depth and equity that he had with our guys and our campus. Henry's a servant. We really miss he and his family. But man, God's faithful. Rob Jones, 17 years at Richmond, was the associate head coach there, and he has transitioned so seamlessly. Got a wealth of knowledge. He is as organized and relationship oriented as anyone I've been around. And man, he's come in and seemingly knitted unbelievably well into our fabric. And then there's Rob Hornet. Like, to get him from Memphis, I had a familiarity with Coach Hornet just because of our time together at UVA. And there's a common bond in Mike Curtis, who's the strength coach at UVA, the best in the country, if not the best, one of the best.
Yeah.
And man, Rob Hornet is terrific. Like, his experience, his knowledge, and he's got a different style, but our guys have embraced it. And I think we've seen the improvement in their bodies that Hen started. We've seen it continue.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things about Coach Hornet. I
Yeah.
heard he's a tough dude, but the players and talking with them, like they've embraced that. And I guess in some ways, if you have somebody come in and replace Coach Barrera, Coach Susi, you don't want somebody that comes in and tries to be them.
No, you don't.
want them to be who they are, and if that's very different, so be it. That's what you want.
Yeah. Trust me, the process of trying to find those replacements, I mean, think about it, it's significant. And I think that about our entire staff. We've got a tremendous staff, and man, I'm not just saying that. I'm really blessed to do life with these individuals, and they're really skilled in their trade. So I do think, though, the authenticity that they operate in, they don't wear masks. They're vulnerable. They're themselves. Man, I think that's a great model for our guys. I really believe that, because that's our number one. If we're going to measure our success, it's the way that we invest in the whole person
Yeah.
of the student athletes that we've been granted to steward or shepherd. And boy, I think our group is. I've got a team full of coaches that are fully invested in that.
Well, just seeing the guys that have gone on from here, I would say you guys have been very successful in doing that to
Thank
this
you.
point, because a lot of great guys have left here and gone on to do good things, play all over the world.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of people they are that really
Yeah.
stands out when they come back and you have conversations with them, or guys that are still on your staff that played for you. Amayo Baxter Bell comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure even for you, it's rewarding to see those guys, have conversations with those guys years after they're done playing with you, and be like, okay, we did our job.
Yeah, no doubt. Like we we remind our guys all the time that you're standing on the shoulders of those who have gone before you. And that's not just in our tenure, but the Liberty basketball players that started since its inception. When Caleb Holmesley and Georgie Pacheco Ortiz, they will send messages that they would hear when they were here, trying to promote our culture to our guys. Like that's when I know,
Mm.
man, those dudes are like they're all the way across the
Yeah.
world, and they're still thinking about us, how to remind our guys, hey, this is what's the most important thing,
Yeah.
because they were reminded of it. And I just think it's special, man. I think what God's done here is unique, and man, it's exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask, think, or imagine. We're experiencing it.
All right, so this week, a big event, try to get the fans to come out and kind of get a taste of your team. Now, I know in talking behind the
I'm gonna call a
scenes, there's a lot of
timeout.
things
Nope.
happening, and one prerequisite you have for this event, because you haven't done any type of preseason event like this before, you said my name has to be on it. Bottom line. So McKay Madness,
Stop.
the name of the
Stop.
event, Friday night, doors open at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Are you going to be there?
I will take a nap that day.
Okay, oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
And no, I didn't know that it was going to be named that. I had zero input
Yeah.
in that, and I think I know why.
They didn't run that by.
I'm not sure who the culprit is,
Yeah.
but when I find out,
Okay,
we're gonna talk.
yeah, heads will roll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm excited about just doing something that
Yeah.
puts our students or our guys in front of our student body. Like in football, they got the helmets on, and
yeah.
baseball, they wear the caps. Basketball, they know you can see their faces, and it's such a great group to be around. That I'm really excited for our student body to get a little bit of familiarity with who they are and what they mean. And I always say, like, we're one Liberty. Like this is our university, and all the outside noise or perceptions or whatever that we go through, we're going to do it together. So when we go through the tough times together, we're going to be together. And I also want us to share in the good times. And I think being a part of a Midnight Madness is really small and simple, but it is late, and there's going to be some good prizes, and
Oh, is that right?
we might even have you have a guest shootout,
I would love
shootout
that.
with Darius McGee.
I would love that.
Yeah, loser does some suicides or
Okay. Well, I don't know if we need to go that far, but yeah. What will it look like? Doors open 10:30, starts
Yeah.
at 11. What are you gonna have go on? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure. I
Okay.
think there's some prizes. There's a little bit of interaction with our student body and our players, and it's kind of a meet the team deal, as well as some. They might have a 3-point contest or a dunk contest. I've been warming up for that, Matt.
Don't pull a hammy. It's
I'm-
early in the year.
I mean, it is
not
early,
worth
and it's
it.
late at night,
It's true.
so I
Yeah.
haven't been up that late in a long time.
All right. Well, it's not just for students. Anybody that wants to come
That's
out,
right.
come on out and watch it. And then quick turnaround, because then Monday, the 7th, you open the season. Regent coming here. Love to see the gym packed. I mean, I think we saw last year when Liberty Arena
Oh man,
is a full house.
No
Like, you
doubt.
think about that Mizzou game.
yeah,
Like, it is not an easy place for an opponent to come
yeah.
into.
It's such a great home court advantage when it's packed, and when the students are there, the noise, the decibel level goes way up. And that inspires our guys. So I hope we can get a ton of people out on the 4th, and then a quick turn. I think 20th ranked Alabama in Tuscaloosa, so
yeah.
we get to see Coach Barrera and Steven Gonzalez, or a reunion there, and then we got some really sneaky good games on our home schedule. Like I know they're not Mizzou or whatever, but there's some really good opponents. So please come out and give our guys a chance to have a home court advantage, because I do think they've got a chance to accomplish something really neat this year.
We're excited for it. Coach, appreciate the time. Looking forward to McKay Madness on Friday. I'm just going to keep saying that. I know how much you love it. And then Regent starting up on the 7th. Appreciate it, Coach. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Matt. Appreciate it.
Great to catch up with Ritchie McKay. Friday night, McKay Madness.
It's McKay Madness.
McKay Madness at Liberty Arena.
He didn't like
get a
that
first
they
look at the
named
team.
it
He does
after
not
himself.
like that at all. No, he did.
He's a
does not.
deflector guy.
Yeah, right. Which is why I like to keep bringing it up over and over and over and over again, just to give him a little hard time.
I'm gonna start tweeting at him hard. McKay Madness.
He's not even on social
not
media
on.
because he's that much of that guy. He doesn't
that
want
much
to,
that
he doesn't
guy.
want to be the center of attention. So, although he has some sort of like burner account.
He's got a burner.
Because he'll like text me sometimes right after we post something. Be like, oh, hey, I saw this. I'm like, okay.
He's got
He's out there.
There's some Liberty people out there that I know that could do some sleuthing.
Yeah.
And they could find out what Richie McKay's burner. And you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. They would be able to find out what this burner account is.
Yeah.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Richie tries to play this now.
Yeah. It's definitely out there.
Don't fall for it.
All right. Liberty football.
I bet he's
4
got a
o'clock.
McKay Madness poster over
McKay
top
Madness,
right over
right.
top of his bed. And
Yeah,
when he
right.
saves nice,
Right.
look at it.
Yeah. He's all about him, some Richie. Right, sure. 4 o'clock, SEC Network, Liberty, Arkansas. Bold prediction this week, Joe Yock. What do you got? Your prediction against BYU, which was the Liberty win, which was bold at the time. By the way, Arkansas opened as a 14-point favorite.
14?
I think it's down to 13.5 right now.
Oh,
but yeah,
goodness.
big home favorite. It's also homecoming at Arkansas. So here's the downside if you're Liberty. We talk about the ranking and how great that is. You almost wish this wasn't the time to jump into the polls. Because if there's any chance, you like that sneak up, kind of like
outsider right now.
right, like you know, are you really going to get their attention? You know, Arkansas got who are they? We're playing in the middle of an SEC schedule. Who are these guys?
Yeah, right.
But now you come rolling in 23rd in the country, and you've got everybody's attention. It is homecoming. You're not sneaking up on anybody. You're gonna earn it. You're absolutely gonna earn it. Get their best shot.
Love it. Bold prediction. Here's my bold prediction. I think Liberty's offense is gonna do well against Arkansas's defense. So I'm gonna go with Day Hunter over 100 yards, and I'm gonna ride the JB train.
Okay.
And we're gonna go JB Day Hunter. JB throws 3 touchdown passes.
Wow. Well, if that happens, you're feeling pretty good.
If that
You're
happens,
in the game.
we got a really good shot at this.
You're definitely
I
in the
think
game.
it is going to be more of a high-scoring game. I do. I think it's going to be. We don't give a score prediction. Should we just do a score prediction? That means you have to do a score prediction too. And you know how that one went. I'm not done with you yet.
I know.
I've been rubbing this one in for 2 weeks.
Give it to me.
I'm gonna take the Flames in this game. With a final score of 38-35.
38-35 Liberty.
We're taking the Flames.
Liberty shocks
the world
the
once
SEC,
again. SEC
8-1, and then it's all out there for you the rest of the way. You'll be favored in every game the rest of the season.
Do you think they'll be favored against Virginia Tech?
Yeah, here at home I do.
You do? Yep. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Give me yours.
My prediction.
I went bold. Matt Warner.
Bold prediction.
Don't
is
go
this.
Emily on me.
No. So I'm thinking about
CJ Yarborough catch 3 passes.
Yeah. 2 touchbacks. No.
Two
So I'm thinking, like, what needs to happen, right? Liberty needs to make a play. It's not just offensively. Who's going to step up on the defensive side and make a game-changing play?
I like where your head's at.
And when I'm thinking about that big environment, big moment, who am I looking to be the leader? The general. Who are you going to say?
Go ahead. No, I love
general.
it.
Javon Scruggs. He's been kind of below the radar with him because we're talking all the Rocket Rahimis. We're talking the Mike Smith Juniors. Javon Scruggs, pick 6, takes one to the house, and makes a game-changing play to help that Liberty defense.
He's Matt Warner. It's bold, and it's a prediction.
There you go. So I think the general's going to take one to the house. So we shall see.
Hold on.
What's that?
We said score prediction. I hate to put you in this I hate to put you in this predicament because Matt Warner, the one thing that I really have come to, in our relationship here together that I've come to really respect about you is that you call it like it is.
I call it like it is.
You're a truth guy.
Listen,
you're a truth guy.
So
now you got you got backed up in a corner a little bit after the BYU thing. I made fun of you.
Yeah, you
sure
did.
I did.
Yeah, still.
Sure, I kept keeping praise upon myself.
Yeah, that's
right. I've been known to do that.
Yeah, it's not new. Yeah.
But now I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I want your honest score prediction for this game.
Honest?
Give it to me.
Score
Give
prediction.
it to the folks. The folks need to hear this.
Okay, honest score prediction for this game. You've mentioned it. I picked BYU to win. I thought they would.
Yeah.
I think on the road at Arkansas.
Yeah.
I'm not a homer, Joe.
That's a tall order.
I'm not a homer.
It's a tall order.
I'm not saying I'm a homer Kool-Aid drinker.
Yeah.
I'm out here just trying to tell you.
Yeah,
how
nobody's gonna.
right?
If you go with Arkansas, nobody's.
I want
Majority
you
of America is
to
gonna agree
trust
with
that
you.
what I tell you is what I really think, and
Yeah.
not just what you want to hear. You don't want somebody telling you what you want to hear, right? You don't want that. So here's how I see it: 35-27, Arkansas.
Okay.
I think they win a close one.
Yeah.
I think Liberty shows themselves really well.
Do
I
they
think
pull
just-
away at the end,
I
or
think
does
maybe-
Liberty ever lead in this game?
I don't think so. I think you could get a little bit of that Ole Miss kind of thing where it's like you get Arkansas out by a couple of scores. Liberty the second half starts to figure some things out. They make a little run. It gets interesting, and you're like, oh, if we could get that one more
Yep,
stop at
and
the
then
end, just can't quite get there.
But very respectable.
But very respectable in a tough environment.
Yeah.
But I think this is a tall order.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Malik Willis got his first start.
How about that? I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, Malik Willis got his first start.
He did 1-0. 1-0 in the NFL.
He's 1-0. Like, he didn't put up any stellar stats.
No.
Right?
I'll
But
tell you what.
Yeah,
Derrick
go ahead.
Henry's pretty good.
Yeah, when you
You
got
just,
there.
why even put it in the air when you
When
just
you
turn to hand it to that guy?
I
What a
mean,
monster.
when he gets to the second level,
Oh,
it's pretty comical. Like, dudes, he doesn't let you get to his legs.
he stiff arms.
He stiff arms
but
you and
it's not
throws you.
even. It's almost like how you kind of do like to a fly, like that. Like I saw him on a run. He was trying to get the edge, and
Yeah.
just two guys just kind of just does
goes,
it and just sheds them. He's
Yeah.
he's scary.
So, if you Malik, and so
Yeah.
do you know? I didn't even know what's the long-term program.
Tannehill, I think he was kind of questionable for this week.
Okay,
They
so-
go at Kansas City next week.
Oh,
So
what
I-
do you do
I
there if Malik
think-
Willis gets a start, Matt
Well,
Warner? You're a Chiefs man.
You know what I do. I root for Malik to have success,
Success,
but in
but
the
in
end.
the end,
yeah,
I'm the Chiefs.
but it'll be interesting to see if Tannehill comes back. Also, I thought it was weird. He was in a boot, Tannehill,
Yeah,
but he couldn't make the trip to Houston.
I thought that was weird too.
Wasn't that odd?
I did think that when they announced that, I said that's a little odd because you would think the starting
You would
quarterback
want
with
him
a
there in his
rookie,
ear.
the rookie
Right.
quarterback.
Yeah, wasn't that odd?
I thought it was
that
odd.
was a
Is
weird
there-
deal.
Is there tensions in
I mean,
Tennessee?
Your words, not mine.
Tensions
but,
in Tennessee?
You never know. So, congrats to Malik.
Malik's going to be great.
Yeah.
Like, his first start but when you just
Right.
watch him out there physically, and he loves the game, he
It'll
cares
slow
about
down
the
for
game, it'll slow down for him. And once again, just like you said, having Derrick Henry in the backfield can
That's a nice way to be able to ease
help
in,
that
right?
process.
You're not having to be one of these other young quarterbacks that it's all on your
Did
shoulders.
you see
to
when
throw
they
it around.
ran him the sweep with him on
Yeah.
the sweep? Phew.
Yeah.
I mean, those are
Yeah.
two grown
Yeah,
men coming
I
at you.
don't wanna get it.
You don't want to.
No, make a
Matt-
business decision.
Make a business decision.
just
Slide
get out of the
aside.
way. Yeah,
That's
right.
good.
All right, Joe, appreciate it as
Yeah.
always. We'll be back next week. We hope Emily will join us as well. So we'll be looking forward to getting her recap of what
Yes.
her week was like. We'll hear from her next week.
Hope
So,
all is well,
Hope all
Emily.
is well.
Hope all is well.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
It's the Flame Central's podcast.
Powered by Alcova Mortgage.